G'day guys. Okay, today I'm using a cut file from Peartree Cutfiles. It's called By the Water, and I haven't used a cut file for ages, so I thought, you know what? Let's see out 2022 and we'll use a couple of them. So both these cut files I use, one on today's layout and one on tomorrow's layout. So I'm doing a couple of different things. These are not very technical. This is just something that I wanted to put these few photos together and, you know, bit of sort of kind of like say truck, see truck, you know, that sort of thing. And yeah, it comes together really nicely. I am doing this on my Cricut mat and I have already removed the letters because I wanted to do something different with them. So it comes together in the end. Okay, so I've got a 12 by 12. Now, these photos are, I'm kind of at the point where I'm okay with finally sort of scrapbooking certain things. You know, when you go through something in life and it's a bit of, it's a bit hectic. It's a bit all that and then some, you know. This particular set of photos was taken when we were just having a family day and we went down to Redcliffe. I think we're at Redcliffe for this one, and we had a really lovely day and we went out for lunch and it was a really, really nice day. The problem that I have is the fact that at that time we were going through a lot of stuff. Now, it's not new to my channel. If you guys have been here for 5 minutes, you may have already heard me talking about this, but one of my children actually has a disease that's called ulcerative colitis. It's very similar to Crohn's disease, and it was at this point in her life where she had a permanent feeding tube and it was a whole mirage of different things that we could do to try and get her through this. And so, you know, when you look at photos and you think, oh, I really want to scrap them. Okay, FYI, I'll come back to the photos. See how I just sharpened my, these are new, they're the new Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. They're woodless ones, they're fantastic. I'm using the Distress Texture Paste in the matte finish, and I thought, you know what, antique linen, that'll be a perfect sandy color. It probably would have been if I didn't use half the pencil. I didn't, that's exaggerating, it wasn't half the pencil. But one, the texture paste is new to me, so I'm giving it a crack, seeing if I like it, if I don't like it, whatever. It worked fine, it was good, I had no problem with it. Now, the antique linen, look at the amount of pigment I got out of that one quick shave. I'm telling you, less is more with these watercolor pencils. They are going to be my go-to colorant choice, providing I have the pencil for the color that I need. These things are awesome. It took nothing to color this. Now, at this point, I'm not really happy with it. At this point, I'm like, okay, it's way too dark. Our beaches are not that dark here in Queensland. And in one of the photos, you can actually see the beach because we were right on the spit there at Redcliffe. And basically, I'm just trying to create a little bit of a sandy look with a bit of water, you know, that sort of look. I'm not really imitating water. I'm not really, you know, obviously we know it's not sand, but then I sort of figured maybe if I go over this with, it's already dry. Don't panic, I'm not doing this while it's wet. And I thought if I go over it with a bit of PUMICESTONE, Distress Oxide, then that'll sort of give me a little bit of a darker patch and a lighter patch, and that sort of might work for me. I didn't want to ditch it. I didn't want to just go, nah, it didn't work. I wanted to see if I could give it a go. And I think in the end, I'm actually happy with it. It works, and look, I'm tippy tapping big time, and I'm trying to sort of figure out where am I going to. This is literally, I mean, it's a power scrap because there's nothing technical involved. So as far as that goes, I'm doing a couple of power scraps for the next couple of days, purely because I've got some ideas in my head and I just want to get some scrapping done and not really overthink some of the pages. So I just want to see out 2022 like that while I'm working on some other stuff in the background. So all I'm doing here is I've used the Texture Paste Transparent Matte. So this is transparent. So I still want to be able to see a little bit of the, in quotations, I want to be able to see the sand through it. So I'm actually using, I'm using a couple of different blues. So I'm using the Tumble Glass, Salty Ocean, and Mermaid Lagoon. You can see where I've just tapped them. I could have gone back to the pencils and used those, but, you know, I just went with what I usually would do just to get some different colours happening. Now, I'm just sort of creating with the texture paste. It's going to take a couple of days for it to dry hard, but it just kind of creates that sort of wave look. Now, I do give it a little bit of a heat tool and just sort of to get it to set enough that I can just keep going with the page. I think it looks fine. Is it perfect waves? Is it perfect, you know, breaking on the shore? No, it's not. But for the purposes of this video, I think it looks fine. Sometimes I overthink things, and sometimes I just have to stop myself and go, don't overthink it, Karen. Now, as I was saying earlier, these photos are from when Ange was receiving some pretty intense treatment. So to be honest, I haven't scrapped them for that reason, but we're okay with where we're at the moment. So I'm feeling okay about it, and I absolutely adore these photos. Jen in this cute little black and white dress, and, you know, Ange just being happy to be outside and running around. Yes, you can just see her feeding tube, but if I'm okay with it and she's okay with it, then we move forward with it. So these are my letters. Now, I sort of had a bit of a debate over what colour I'm going to do these, and then I went, you know what, I'm going to bring in some peacock feathers. It's the Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to do that. And what colour do I do on the top? I think I do PUMICESTONE, maybe? No? Tumble Glass. So I wanted to go through and do this just to give it a bit more depth. I know I've gone around the letters, and I've already gone over those with Mermaid Lagoon, Salty Ocean, and a little bit of Tumble Glass through the center. But I thought, you know what? That actually looks pretty cool. I'm okay with that. I think that's good. What do you reckon? So I am feverishly working in the background and doing a lot of things that you guys aren't seeing yet, but don't worry, you will. And what else can I tell you? I've had an amazing Christmas with my family. It has been fantastic. I hope everyone overseas, Bobby, and you know who you are, I'm going to shout out to you, because you know what? You guys are freezing over there right now. I can't even imagine. We are actually having, here in Queensland, we're actually having a really cool couple of days. I know I've just said it out loud, so now it's going to disappear on me, but I'm absolutely loving this breeze that we've got. It's so good. My brother's actually in Victoria at the moment. He was telling me that tonight it's supposed to get down to 8. It was 39 there yesterday. This is Celsius. It was 39 there yesterday, and it's going to be 8 tonight. Can you imagine? Like that? That is just insane. 1 minute it's, you know, roasting and you're just a grease spot on the ground, and the next minute you're freezing looking for a jumper. But anyway, that is the country we live in, people. This is the... apologies if you can hear that dog barking. My neighbours are home and they like to play with their dog in the afternoons, and that is fine. It is summertime after all. I know it's... Okay, so it's 7:30 at night right now, but, you know, it's summertime. We're all just chilling. So I mounted these photos on some Recollections Blue Hue pack. It's the Recollections brand, and they're A4 papers and they're called Blue Hue. So I just have those. I just have all of those colors lined up, and sometimes they happen to work for me, and this particular layout, they worked perfectly. So I add a bit of cardboard just to raise this one up, so it matched in, like it didn't sort of sit in, it sat up. So it works a treat. I'm really liking how this has turned out. Now the top, I know you're probably looking at it going, why did she leave such a big white blank space at the top? Well, I will be journaling there, but I actually wanted to type my journaling for there because there's quite a bit I want to say, and you guys know the drill. When it's something super private and personal, I keep the journaling until later. If it's just something simple, I don't mind journaling it beforehand. So yeah. So I raised up the water letters. I raised those up with my foam strips. Now, I've had a few people ask me where I get them from. I get them from eBay, to be honest. It's a Chinese import situation, I do believe. And to be completely honest, they take a fair while to arrive. So never let yourself run low on them. But I always order about $40 or $50 worth in one hit. And when they arrive, I've still got some in my stock. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So that is my layout, I think. No, I do come in with one more thing. I actually decided that I would pull in my liquid pearls, Ranger liquid pearls, white opal. And I'm putting the tiniest little bit on there just to add a little bit of shine and a little bit of, you know, when the water gets the sun hitting on it and you get that little bit of a glisten. That's all I was going for. I wasn't trying to make it white. I was just adding a little bit of a glisten on top of the water. So that is it, guys. That is my entire layout. I hope you enjoyed it. And I know it's a quick one, but as I said, the next couple of days, there'll be a few quick ones chucked in. And, oh yeah, and I did go across in the center. I'm just using a dry brush, and I'm just brushing to put a line, a bit of shimmer across in the middle of the water there. So there you go. So that is my layout, and now I'll give you the close-ups. The one thing I did think, I thought the texture paste would be a little bit more gritty than what it is. That's okay. We live and we learn. I will try another one. I just want something in my arsenal that is sand-like, you know, like a little bit more grit. So I think I'm going to get my hands on some grit paste. I think that's what they call it. I'll have to have a look. And yeah, so here's the close-up, and here's my okay, I'm just saying, sorry, I've just got sidetracked for 1 second there. So my shameless plug, please like, subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you stick around. And I post 6 videos a week at a minimum. Sometimes you get 7, sometimes you get more. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to leave me a like, a subscribe, and or a comment, I will get back to you ASAP. Thanks so much. I will chat to you again soon. Bye for now.